The jQuery script in this file toggles open and close the paragraphs following the headings, but it would be much better if the arrow images flipped down and to the right in response to the action. In this lesson I'll show you how to do that, and in the process you'll learn an important point about jQuery methods. Many of them have different functionality depending on the number of arguments passed to them. So let's just go out of Live View and down to the jQuery code. I'm going to need to make several references to the next paragraph, so what I'm going to do is to split up this line and save a reference to the next paragraph in a variable. So the keyword var, and then I'll call my variable para and assign the value of this next p to it, end the line there, and then apply the toggle method to the paragraph, to that variable. So if I just save the page and test Live View again, you'll see that it's still working. The arrows are inserted as background images to the H2 headings, which are the target of the click event handler. So if the following paragraph is not being displayed, the paragraph's display property will be set to none. If I can find out if the display property of the following paragraph is set to none, I can use that information to determine which background image to use for the preceding heading. So I need to create a conditional statement here, and we'll do if, and then the condition will be para, and then CSS, and I'm looking for the display property. When you use the CSS method with only one argument, the property that you're looking for, it gets the value of the property. If you use it with two arguments, it sets the value of the property. So what I need to do is to use the equality operator, and I want to check whether it's none, and then create a code block with a pair of curly braces. The heading is the target of the click event, so to get a reference to that, use the this keyword. I also need to use the CSS property, but this time I'm going to set both the property name and its value. So the property name will be background image, and Dreamweaver has kindly given me some code hints there. And then a nice little code hint there too for browse. I go to my images, and when the paragraph is not being displayed, I want the right facing arrow. So we've now got the URL for the right facing arrow in there. Just need to close that parenthesis and add a closing semicolon. Just widen that so you can see the script on one line as it needs to be. And if the display property of the paragraph is not none, I want to display the down arrow instead. So put that in an else clause. And basically I need to do the same thing except a different image. To save time, I'm just going to copy and paste that and change the name of the image, which is arrow down. I just saved the page, turn on Live View, and now when I flip the items open and closed, the arrow moves as well. So the lesson to take from that is that the functionality of many jQuery methods depends on the number of arguments passed to them. As you've just seen, the CSS method gets the value of a property when you pass it just the property name, but it sets the value of the property if you pass the value as a second argument.